welcome back to another session of BODW 2020. This is Mishi Lee and I am your program host. We're very happy to have you back for our next session, where our panel will examine micro-initiatives and city culture with design trust, critically homemade. We'll be hearing an array of power talks from the most innovative studios and designers, and we'll be following up with a group conversation and some thoughtful questions. And our speakers include Michael Young, the director of Michael Young Studio, Donald Choi, executive director and group CEO of Chinachem Group, Arnault Castel, founder of Kapok, and Clara Brito, creative director of Lines Lab. The session will be introduced and moderated by Marisa Yu, architect and founding partner of ESKYIU, a multidisciplinary architecture studio based in Hong Kong. Please welcome our moderator and our speakers.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Business of Design Week, Hong Kong Design Center, and also my colleagues at Design Trust Foundation for putting this together. I'm really thrilled to be part of this panel. It's been a very challenging year for all of us. And just now, before the sessions started, you saw a short video on Design Trust Critically Homemade, micro-initiative and city culture. What we're going to unpack today with an exciting presentation and sharing is how the role of design can actually impact the culture of a city, and how the city and the culture of Hong Kong and the region can also impact the role of design in positive ways. As we know today, Vision 2021 as a theme for Business of Design Week is about finding clarity in a time of uncertainty. And how do we deal with change and ambiguity? So we will share on Design Trust, this micro-initiative. As you see this wonderful slide on your screen, there's a whole series of circular motion and animation of this wonderful slide that we can bring on that talks about the role of giving, making, the generosity of spirit, be it an individual or a collective, and how we can really participate in the making of a production of a city. So with this, you know, our foundation is now 13 years old, in fact, and I do always think we are growing up with Hong Kong. And a lot of the individuals you can see on the slide have been very much part of our journey in Hong Kong and the region. As mentioned before, we have Mr. Donald Choi joining us, the Group CEO of Chinachem Group. Arnault Castel should be zooming in or presenting from his home at the Blue House. Clara, based in Macau in Portugal. And excitingly sitting with me in the studio is Michael Young, a mentor and a dear friend who's been participating in a lot of our programs and projects. For those who might not know who we are, I did want to share a little bit on some of our slides for our foundation. Through grants, fellowships, mentor think tanks, public dialogues, we really look at Design Trust as an NGO platform, a non-profit organization, a registered charity that supports the community, and the community supports us back, looking at how research, experimentation, and debate can support innovation and thought-provoking projects in all disciplines, and how design is actually quite intertwined through different media. What you've seen is a whole journey that, in one sense, can't be possible without the support and patronage of many individuals in our community. And I wanted to highlight a few projects before I introduce the speakers. Our past, in 2009, we were very much involved in the Bi-City Biannual between Hong Kong and Shenzhen, called the Biennale at the West Kowloon Cultural Site, this 40-hectare site, where we built a lot of programs on city mobilization. How do we actually build participation in the city? Called 城市动员, 城市动员, which is like city mobilization. How do you bring yourself to participate in the city? And what you see in this amazing site, this is back in 2009, our curatorial team and Hong Kong Ambassador Design with my fellow curators, Eric Schuldenfrei, Alan Lowe, Frank Yu, was supported very much to work together with the City Institute of Architects, planners, designers to sort of agitate and produce a dialogue on the future of the waterfront. And these moments of pavilions and exciting festivals are a way to cultivate dialogue. And this BYOB project kind of marked the entry point to our foundation's commitment to culture of the city. And Donald Choi actually, in fact, was one of our first speakers back in the day when he was an architect practicing for over 30 years, not only as an architect, but a developer, participating in a debate with us, with Rem Koolhaas, Rocco, and Foster for the future of West Kowloon Cultural District. So what I'm trying to say is that the participation of these amazing speakers with me today have also helped engender a spirit of nurturing young architects. We have younger architects, Evelyn Paul, participating in creating experimental films, subsequently winning young architect competitions to build the first kind of young architects pavilion at near the M+ Museum. At the same time, we've also been working very closely in fostering questions and research and archives in the region that are absent. So we supported M+ Design Trust fellow Thomas Daniel looking at the history of Macau in the region, and then presenting that material in heritage sites in Macau at this Dom Pedro Via Theatre from the 19th century. At the same time, we're very, very much interested in the role of Hong Kong and beyond. And this fascinating topic, which I hope Michael will enjoy, is this Design Trust fellow was researching the last 30 years of how Hong Kong is featured in video games. And not much has been discussed or talked about, but we're quite excited that Hong Kong architecture in vernacular video games has a presence in the digital space. And so, you know, as we're moving along, you know, the Foundation Design Trust is very much about supporting grantees, content that might not have enough funding or research, and we provide that platform. For example, Henry Steiner has been researched quite closely by Perry Leung, looking at his archival projects. He's the first graphic designer, now he's 80 years old, who developed the Hong Kong Bank logo, some of our bank notes by Standard Charter, etc. And our role in the foundation is really to stitch together these possibilities of knowledge. And just, you know, as we're moving along and thinking about how an individual can participate and build a stronger city culture, Design Trust Future Studio came about in 2017 to really engender these discussions on how do we design a city together. We've been producing a whole series of projects on building microparks in Hong Kong, underway right now, which is really exciting. Even back in 2018, 2 years ago, and Michael was involved, Donald Choi, architects, developers, designers. How do we engender a space, a neutral, carefully curated space for dialogue to talk about design from different perspectives? So someone like Michael Young sitting with me, he's a very extraordinary, famous industrial designer, but how do you begin to bring in designers with different disciplines to participate in even building a city? And this amazing image here talks about how diverse and how important stakeholder engagement is. We have in this slide government architects, activists, designers, legislators, media, really top architects to even young designers just freshly graduated participating in these mentor-mentee workshops to build future parks for Hong Kong. And this is the energy that I do feel micro-initiation and little small steps could actually produce bigger impact. Michael Young also participated in the advisory programs and has been working really hard with some of our younger mentees to look at heritage revitalization projects in Hong Kong. So the involvement of our community is critical. And, you know, Clara, Brito, who will also be joining us quite shortly, based in Macau, started the My City program, has also been developing a lot of connections between Hong Kong, Macau, and Portugal in the region. And this really attests the fact how important these individuals and presentations are to cultivate the notion of a city. And Arnault will be quite impressed. I dug this out of our Design Trust archives. This is 6 years ago. We had a very exciting presentation at Spring Workshop, another non-for-profit space that also agitates and questions and debates about the role of culture. And, you know, with this amazing kind of community of people in Hong Kong, we had this great opportunity, unfortunately, because of, you know, all that has happened in our city, to review our work and understand the role of design in a very kind of neutral space. So we've just launched this book, Design Trust's Milestone Portfolio, commemorating the foundation's work, and all these incredible people with me on the panel have participated in the last 7 years. We've supported over 150 design grantees as an initiation of the Hong Kong Ambassador Design, and very excited and thrilled to share this knowledge with all of you. So just, you know, the short background of Design Trust I just went through. I would love to share this video again. We actually presented it briefly, but with the energy of the foundation and the questioning of our background and the future, I would like to just take 2 minutes to look at this exciting micro-initiative that our community has put together. Design Trust Critically Homemade is a response to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the design community and beyond, and conceptualized to encourage creatives to critically examine the drastic changes in the world and participate in the formation of a collective response to these new norms. We are lucky to have Hong Kong-based designers, regional friends, and international collaborators continue to share their innovative prototypes that are both emotional, sustainably driven, and inspirational, showing community strength and creativity. This micro-initiative expresses innovation, reflection, lightness, and hope, represented by the transformation of our Design Trust D from its typical dark blue hue to a multicolored rainbow of hope. This rainbow is a message of optimism and resilience that parallels the intention of this micro-initiative, where small acts of making and gestures of generosity expand to more support within and around communities. Design Trust, critically homemade. So interesting. Back in March, as both a co-founder and curator of Design Trust the Foundation, we put a brief out due to COVID-19 situation and all the challenges we face in questioning and bringing a curatorial brief to our community to craft an object that responds to the challenges that we face. Right now, with the video you just saw, we're very lucky with an opportunity. We had 76 prototypes come on board, 132 designers participate, making incredible work as a response to the challenges of today. And we had organized some of the themes around culturally Hong Kong, challenges of COVID-19, sensory wellness, and how we can start to think about the environment, and of course, intergenerational play, which was some of the objects reacting to small spaces in Hong Kong, and how do we actually engender relationships with our family in new ways. So it's been a really extraordinary project, and at this point, we're very lucky. We have been able to continue manufacturing these to be supporting designers and also our foundation and NGO. And we have now companies and organizations coming on board quite organically to support this initiative. And one of the Design Trust champions I would love to bring on board very soon is Mr. Donald Choi, also a fellow of the Hong Kong Institute of Architects. He came through our show, our prototype show back at Soho House, Hong Kong in September, and walked through the exhibition and understood the value and reality of how important these initiatives are for community resilience. So welcome, Donald. Hello. Really great to see you. Very much wish we were sitting all together, but with the fourth wave, it's been quite a challenge in Hong Kong. But I'm pulling up your slides, knowing how much you have committed in the last 30 years to Hong Kong as a developer, architect. You've also was the authorized architect, builder and construction of the Hong Kong International Airport, and have been dedicated a lot of your work towards community services. So I have a few slides for you. Please feel free to share how you are involved in the initiative and also what Chinachem Group is doing.
Right. Sure. Thank you, Marisa. I think indeed this is a challenging time for all of us, but also create a lot of opportunities. I think it gives us a chance to actually slow down and re-examine our life, as well as how we can reshape our business to give back to the community. Everything we do at Chinachem actually is an effort to give back to the communities that we work in. Again, Chinachem is quite unique in the sense that we do not have any single individual shareholders or controlled by any family. And our mandate is really to grow our business and create resources so that we can serve our community and hopefully build common goods and create shared value. Next slide, please. I think there's one before this. Yeah. Again, because of our higher purpose, we operate under what we call the triple bottom line, the 3 Ps. So it is all about people, prosperity, which not only for our own company, but also for the community as well, and also the planet. Obviously, sustainability is a major kind of consideration in all our business and behavior. We are proud of our balanced view of doing business. So we are not only looking for just economic return. We would really want to train our business, already create a positive social impact. And obviously, in terms of planet, sustainability is very much part of our DNA. Next please. Again, we are very honored and happy that we have a chance to partner with Design Trust on the critically homemade. As we totally believe in the power of design and the inspiration that can come from good design to reshape our city and create a better quality of life for all. It is our wish that through the collaboration, we can really promote good design, create aesthetic experience for everybody to share, not only because it is beautiful, but also in terms of culture and human value. We definitely believe that the design project would actually elevate how we view the world and how we can contribute back. Next, please. So, for example, we have select various prototypes for us to further, develop as well as share with, the general public. We definitely are very much interested in using design to create a unique experience for all our customers, as well as people that come into contact with the product itself. How we can utilize, for example, the colors of hope. Where we do believe that special created design, crafted decorative shapes and color would actually put hope into people's mind and thinking. And we are not only looking for the visual kind of impact, but also all the sensory through the design project. So it is all about smell through the incense, other tactile enjoyment through the slippers and so on. So again, I think we together with Design Trust are in the right place with the right heart to serve our community through the power of design and create beautiful projects as well. So I will stop my sharing now and look forward to the coming dialogues and discussion.
Thank you, Donald, so much. I have so many exciting questions for you as a property developer and architect and community supporter. The next individual I would love to invite, we can show Arnault Castel. Are you at the Blue House, Arnault, or at your office?
I'm at the shop today.
Okay, at Kapok. Great. So
Kapok, yes.
Arnault, similar to Donald, Choi has been a big supporter of the foundation. Born and raised in France, he found Kapok in 2006. And he is, I would say, a provocation and a design retailer with a heart for Hong Kong. And I have a few slides here just to also share, and when you're ready, Arnault. These are some of the slides.
Sure.
You can show the slides, yes. On Kapok's role as also a Design Trust supporter and champion for this micro-initiative.
Yes, so I think this it's very good for us because we are a micro company to be involved in this micro initiative. And this year was, I'm usually a very positive and happy, bubbly person, but this year, of course, was a big test, Hong Kong has lost a lot of its optimism and energy, and because of a lot of setback, and it also affected me. There's a lot of talk about essential work, and I question, is what I'm doing with Kapok, my retail store, is the design project I work on are really essential. So, and then the optimism in the city and personally were lost. So, but I got out of this state, and I really felt that even though I'm not a doctor or don't have this kind of important job, we still have a role to play. We've been working at Kapok for 15 years, and I think we have to support our team, but we also support a lot of small brand and young designer, and we gave a chance to so many of them, and we felt we have to continue. And also, maybe we have a role to play to lift up the mood of the city. So that was really important. When you approached me, Marisa, to help this project, you know, I really wanted to help because I was a judge in Design Trust, and I've seen the really, really interesting, wonderful project that Design Trust has helped fund across the year. And I thought that would be like really horrible that it has to stop this year. So, but I also felt, oh, we are so small. Why us? You know, because this year we almost didn't make it. So it's difficult to think. We have to think of our survival, but thinking of helping. But I thought because we are small, because we are a micro initiative, we have a lot of freedom. We cannot, we don't need to have any committee. We can really move fast, and we can also have something very, very pure. And this is the chance to be small. And this is the chance of this micro initiative. They can do projects that are more controversial, more interesting, more groundbreaking. And I feel if we do what we do at the very small scale with our company, but also this micro initiative, our impact can be that people that have more power, people that have more funding, are actually looking at what we are doing, you know, because they feel, oh, we are big, but maybe we are boring, we are not moving fast, we are not changing anything. But these guys, I want to be dangerous. I want people to feel, okay, these guys are growing, these guys are doing something we don't, and then it will push the people that have more fun, that have more reach to change, and the impact comes from there. So I actually was at the beginning feeling, is it important to work with this micro project? And now, after 6 months, I'm really a believer, you know, and I think I want to continue to do things at a small scale because we are seen actually by a lot of more people. That's all I have to say today. And here on that slide, you see some of the projects we have decided that they were just more art projects, and we turned them into retail projects. And I want to talk about the one in the middle, the Hong Kong brick, because it's very symbolic. It's a project by two designers, Florian and Christine, that work. Basically, they get the ruins of Hong Kong retail shops. So many shops had to close, and they took the material and create a new material with it, this kind of new terrazzo, and made a brick. And this showed that even though this year has been terrible, as a lot of heartbreak, a lot of closure, we can also use it as a step to rethink how we work and imagine why did we have to close and how we can be better and we can reborn. So it's a very symbolic message of this year, and I'm very happy we get to fund this project and make it available to more people. Okay, I have talked enough. Thank you, Marisa.
Yeah, thank you, Arnault. The Hong Kong brick is a very special piece. There will be 100 limited editions crafted from their work, from reconstituting materials, found objects, into this hopeful message of rebuilding Hong Kong. The next speaker, I'm so excited there's a real speaker near me. Are we 1.5 meters distance? Michael Young is a dear friend, extraordinary designer, and has participated, as I mentioned, for many years in Hong Kong in our foundation. And actually, similar to Arnault, he founded his studio 2006, 2007 in Hong Kong. And Michael, over to you and what you've produced and a prototype that I feel is so innovative. And here it is.
Yeah, thank you very much, Marisa, and thank you for the invitation. Yeah, it was very nice to be invited to take part of this project at such a sort of scary time of mass uncertainty where everything was up in the air for many of us. I'd actually been aware of antibacterial science for quite some time on two different levels, be it something which is from nature, which is the lotus leaf, which is through nature antibacterial, but also some companies in Singapore who'd been developing materials to coat products with, and I was aware of those just through my own research. And I guess this is probably a lot more, you know, as an industrial designer, my job is really to try and, I get briefs all the time. I'm not a retailer, I'm a kind of daydreamer, thinker. Sometimes I go into the arts, sometimes it's very serious and industrial. And this just seemed like a really obvious provocation to suggest to people, and also very nice for something to, you know, to be part of Hong Kong, to put something out there that was actually relevant to quite a serious situation. The design itself, of course, is very simple, so to speak, but it's one of what could be 100 different functionalities for different situations. So again, what I actually did with this was minimalize the amount of material that I used for the sake of ecology in that sense, and using recycled material, but also then using antibacterial products at a time that I guess it's ultimately needed. I think, oh, let me just, so that's the old little office with all my rubbish lying around that I seem to endlessly collect. So I think, yeah, we got this together rather nicely, and I think I'm very proud at the minute that we have begun working with Colour Living as pioneers of the trust to evolve the project into something greater, and to actually have some foundation in Hong Kong that speaks out to the world is really what this type of initiative is really about. So I think hopefully this is a catalyst for greater things to come. So I'll leave it there and keep that brief. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And I hope, Donald, you can see some of these prototypes that will be interwoven into Colour Living's showcase and Chinachem. I hope other property developers can also look into these extraordinary works that are coming out of Michael Young's studio, not just aesthetic and minimalism, but looking at re-evaluating value and health and well-being. Another selection actually upcoming. Clara, are you here? Clara's
Yes.
Yes, hi, welcome.
Hello.
Great
Hi.
to see you.
Hello.
And you've created
Nice to see
something
you.
really wonderful for the initiative. It was also shown in our earlier slides with Chinachem's Select Showcase. Could you talk a bit
Thank
about
you.
your prototype for the Critically Homemade program and where it's heading?
Sure. So first of all, let me just thank Design Trust and you, and to be part of this Critically Homemade initiative, and of course also thank Business of Design Week for the opportunity of being part of this panel. To give a little background information, so this project is in a way the development of tufa sleepers that I was developing already 2 years ago, which is the result of a connection between me as a Macau, Portugal, China-based designer and a Portuguese-based artist, Margarida Jardim. And the idea was how we could connect and merge our working, living experience, intercultural experience together with the heritage between China and Portugal. These sleepers are also made in collaboration with a factory, more than a factory, a brand based in Portugal, the Burel factory. Burel is mainly recognized for recovering a textile heritage from Portugal, which is the Burel wool. And to give a little bit of information in regards to the legacy of this material, let me just pass to the second slide, if this technology goes to. Can you help me to transfer to the second slide, because my connection is not allowing me to do it?
Yes. Hold on one second. I'm just trying to organize the technology. Yep.
No problem, no problem. Okay, so Burel is made entirely of wool, a carded wool felt, and it has a deep connection to the mountains. Its origins are related to the mountain, and is a traditional and handmade material fabric that in fact started to exist since the High Middle Ages, although it's mainly known during the Middle Ages in the 12th century, mainly due to the Franciscan monks that used to produce it for their habits. Later on, this material started to be also produced by people at their own homes using rudimentary looms. And During the second half of the 20th century, due to the changes in lifestyle in the region of the mountains, mainly in the north of Portugal, in a region called Serra da Estrela, this material was almost lead to extinction. And that's when Burel Factory, the company with whom we work, and their mentors, Isabel Costa and José Tomás, they found an old factory from the 19th century, and they decided to recover and decided to embrace this material and to recover it. So two Fatao slippers that are the outcome of this initiative invitation from Design Trust, they are in a way the process and the continuation of this process together with the outcome of Tufa and the connection with the Burel factory. And they are the reply to this initiative. And their concept is rooted, is very related with the idea of how this intercultural vision of blending cultural heritage from China and from Portugal could be more intense in a way. So in a way also looking at this COVID-19 situation as a call for bringing people and community together in a way that we could conceive like tomorrow's heritage through transcultural projects. So Tufata was conceived at home during the period of lockdown between March and June of this year. And the idea was how could I develop the initial Tufa slippers design, but bring a more Chinese cultural philosophy to it, which is the Taoism, thought as the path for living in harmony, together with the Burel material. So this addition to the design, I decided to add stress and anxiety reducing elements, which are so mostly needed during these challenging pandemic times. So basically it's the slippers that give you the sensation of having your feet massaged, meanwhile you use them. And mainly this is it. Thank you.
Thank you, Clara. I'm mindful of our time because we are meant to have a panel discussion. Can we bring up all the speakers behind us? What's amazing with this project is the storytelling, the innovation, the heritage, the commitment to our community through individual and collaborations and all the kind of participation of the city. I had actually originally wanted to show a quick slide at the end and the background. Can I just bring that up very quickly? Is the notion of how all of us can participate, whether small or big, in this particular program. It's actually been an unbelievable show of generosity of spirit from designers who are donating their time to experimenting, and also, you know, developers and organizations coming together to support us. And before I quickly bring on the panel discussions, I wanted to mention the City Cultural Campaign has now 39 prototypes being further developed to be sold, with some proceeds going back to the foundation and also future granting. So it's a very important program for us to knit together the stories and the power of innovation. So just bringing back up the slides of our panels. Thank you, Donald, Michael, Arnault, and also Clara. The city and cultural question that has come and popped up is, do you think COVID-19 has brought us more crisis or innovation? And how has your work been a way to release stress or recover from the negativity? I think these are really extraordinary questions that kind of balance our reassessments of values. Michael, do you want to say a few things?
In 15 seconds,
Yes.
due to the time, I'd say the first thing that this situation teaches us is resilience. Then it teaches us agility, and out of that, I think that the things that are the crisis will fall behind, and the new things will arrive out of that, and that's the cycle of life that I think this will teach us. So I'll leave it there so other people can speak.
Yeah, sure. Donald, would you like to say a few words about this question?
Yes. I mean, again, you know, it actually forced us to re-examine what is valuable to us. And again, also, I think because of the COVID, it also brings in focus the integration of technology in our everyday life. So I think that is important because, you know, in future, the new normal to a certain extent actually will create something that is quite unique, and there could be a lot of opportunities for designer when they use the modern day technologies and facilitate and actually assist how the daily life can become more present and also more healthy.
Thank you. I know Arnaud and wonderful Clara is also here. I have 18 seconds left, I can see on the ticker. So if we don't get a chance to speak, I hope to see you physically and virtually very soon. But I wanted to thank all of you for today's participation. I believe we can go beyond ourselves, and this has shown community collaboration in a very new way. So thank you very much.